The Fugees, Lauryn Hill, Wyclef Jean, and Pras Michel redefined hip-hop in the 1990s with their Grammy-winning album, The Score. Their unique blend of soulful melodies, sharp lyrics, and social commentary made them icons of a generation, inspiring millions and leaving an indelible mark on music history. Pras Michel, once a celebrated artist and entrepreneur, enjoyed global fame and access to powerful circles. He was seen at exclusive events, mingling with celebrities, politicians, and business moguls, his influence reaching far beyond the music industry. But his journey took a dark turn, leading him from music stardom to a federal courtroom. The world watched as Pras, once admired for his talent and charisma, faced a very different kind of spotlight. In November 2025, Pras was sentenced to 14 years in prison, not for a minor slip, but for crimes involving international money, political conspiracy, and corruption. The charges were serious, and the sentence reflected the gravity of his actions. The trial made headlines, revealing a tangled web of illegal campaign donations, secret lobbying, and a fugitive Malaysian billionaire. The case exposed the hidden intersections of celebrity, politics, and global finance. Pras, once a symbol of creative success, now stood convicted, his life unraveling in public view. The media frenzy was relentless, and every detail of his downfall was scrutinized by the public. The story is a cautionary tale of how fame and access can lead to dangerous choices. It's a reminder that the higher you rise, the farther you can fall. The details that emerged were stranger than fiction: a hip-hop star, a global financial scandal, and the highest levels of U.S. politics. The narrative unfolded like a thriller, but the consequences were all too real. The man who once accepted music awards now faced a judge, hearing the charges that would cost him his freedom. The contrast between his past glory and present reality was stark and sobering. For Pras Michel, the fall from grace was swift and dramatic. His reputation, career, and future were forever changed in the eyes of the world. His story is no Hollywood script. It's a real-life tragedy. The lessons from his downfall echo far beyond the courtroom, and it all began with a fateful connection to a mysterious billionaire. That single relationship would set off a chain of events that changed everything for Pras Michel. The turning point in Pras Michel's life came when he crossed paths with Jho Low, a Malaysian financier whose reputation for lavish parties and high-profile celebrity friendships was matched only by the rumors swirling around his mysterious fortune. Jho Low seemed to have an endless supply of money, and he used it to surround himself with the world's elite, from Hollywood stars to international business moguls. But Jho Low wasn't just a party host. He was the alleged mastermind behind the infamous 1MDB scandal, accused of orchestrating the theft of billions from Malaysia's sovereign wealth fund. The scandal would become one of the largest financial crimes in history, sending shockwaves through governments and financial institutions worldwide. Despite being a wanted fugitive, Low used his immense wealth to buy influence and favor, especially in the United States. Pras Michel, once known for his music, became one of Low's key contacts in America, drawn into a web of secret deals and political intrigue. Prosecutors allege that Jho Low funneled over $120 million to Pras, not as a simple gift, but as payment for a series of illegal schemes designed to manipulate American politics and launder money on a massive scale. Using his celebrity status and connections, Pras helped Low gain access to powerful figures in Washington, all while carefully concealing the true source of the money. The stakes were high, and the deception ran deep. This unlikely partnership pulled Pras into a shadowy world of international crime and high-stakes corruption. A far cry from his days as a hip-hop artist, he became, in effect, an agent for a foreign billionaire, carrying out covert tasks and secret missions for millions of dollars, all under the radar of law enforcement. The money was tainted, the risks enormous, but the allure of wealth and power proved irresistible for Pras, blurring the lines between right and wrong. Pras' secret arrangement with Jho Low would ultimately become the foundation of the criminal case against him, exposing a hidden world of corruption and betrayal. The hip-hop star was now entangled in a sprawling global conspiracy. His name splashed across headlines as investigators closed in. And as the truth came to light, the consequences for Pras Michel would be nothing short of devastating. Pras Michel's first major crime with Jho Low's money was an audacious and illegal attempt to influence the outcome of the 2012 U.S. presidential election. This wasn't just a minor infraction, It was a bold scheme that would have far-reaching consequences for everyone involved. Federal law strictly bans foreign nationals and foreign money from American campaigns, but Jho Low was determined to find a way in. He wanted access to the highest levels of power, specifically the Obama administration, and he was willing to break the rules to get it. Pras agreed to help, orchestrating a plan to funnel millions of dollars from Low into the campaign using straw donors, people who would make donations with Low's money, disguising its true origin and making it look legitimate on paper. Around 20 fake donors were recruited for this operation, each one making it appear as if the money came from everyday Americans. This elaborate setup was designed to avoid suspicion and keep the illegal funds hidden in plain sight. This was a direct and serious violation of campaign finance laws, a calculated effort to deceive not just officials, but the American public as well. The risks were enormous, but the potential rewards were even greater. The ultimate goal was clear: buy influence, get close to the president, and legitimize Jho Low's image on the world stage. For Low, this was about more than just politics. It was about power and prestige. For a time, the plan seemed to work. Low even managed to get a coveted photo with President Obama, a symbol of the access he craved and the success of their scheme, at least for the moment. But behind the scenes, investigators were quietly following the money. They eventually uncovered the scheme, tracing the illegal donations back to Pras and exposing the entire operation. This illegal donation plot became a central pillar of the government's case against Pras, revealing the depth of the conspiracy and the lengths they went to in order to manipulate the system. It showed Pras's willingness to break the law for money and power, and just how far he was willing to go to help Jho Low achieve his ambitions. The fallout would be severe, with reputations destroyed and lives forever changed by the scandal. And as shocking as this plot was, it was only the beginning of a much larger story. Pras's crimes didn't stop with campaign finance violations. As the 1MDB scandal exploded, Jho Low needed help avoiding prosecution in the U.S. Pras was paid millions to secretly lobby top officials to drop the investigation into Low and to push for the extradition of a Chinese dissident, Guo Wengui, back to China. Under U.S. law, anyone lobbying for a foreign individual or government must register as a foreign agent. Pras never did. He operated in the shadows, using his connections to influence powerful people in Washington. This was a bold, illegal effort to interfere with federal investigations and U.S. foreign policy. Prosecutors called it a profound betrayal. Pras used his access not for public good, but for a criminal fugitive. Acting as an unregistered foreign agent became another key charge. The evidence was overwhelming. Pras's secret lobbying campaign would seal his fate in court. His actions crossed a line that the law could not ignore. The money fueling these crimes was stolen from Malaysia's 1MDB fund, created to boost the nation's economy. Instead, billions were siphoned off by Jho Low and his associates through fake companies and fraudulent deals. The stolen cash was laundered through banks worldwide, funding Low's lavish lifestyle, luxury homes, parties, and even Hollywood films like The Wolf of Wall Street. Pras's payments came directly from this pool of stolen money. He wasn't just breaking U.S. laws, he was helping launder the proceeds of one of the world's largest financial heists. The money he funneled into politics and lobbying was tainted from the start. Prosecutors argued Pras knew, or should have known, the money was dirty. His willingness to use it showed disregard for both the law and the victims in Malaysia. The scale of the crime was global, and so was the fallout. Pras Michel's trial in Washington, D.C. was a spectacle. Hip-hop, Hollywood, and high-stakes politics collided. The witness list included Leonardo DiCaprio, who testified about Jho Low's funding of The Wolf of Wall Street, and former Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who described lobbying efforts tied to Pras. The trial revealed how stolen money from Malaysia reached the highest levels of entertainment and government. The prosecution presented a mountain of evidence: conspiracy, acting as an unregistered foreign agent, money laundering, and more. In April 2023, the jury found Pras guilty on all 10 counts. The verdict was a stunning blow, ending his career and freedom. The man who once commanded stages now faced decades in prison. The celebrity trial was over. The reality was grim. Pras's conviction sent shockwaves through the music and political worlds. His story became a symbol of how far-reaching corruption can be. Fame offered no protection from justice. The consequences were final. After his conviction, Pras Michel awaited sentencing as his lawyers fought for a new trial, citing errors and even the use of AI in closing arguments. The judge rejected these appeals, and in November 2025, Pras was sentenced to 14 years in federal prison. Prosecutors had sought life, arguing he betrayed his country for money and undermined American democracy. The defense claimed Pras was naive, not the mastermind, and deserved a lighter sentence. Ultimately, the judge imposed a term far harsher than the defense wanted, but less than prosecutors demanded. 14 years in prison, plus 3 years of probation, sent a clear message. Political corruption and foreign influence would not be tolerated. For Pras, it was a crushing end to a long legal battle. He was ordered to surrender in January 2026. The fall from fame was complete. His future now lay behind bars. Prison wasn't the only penalty. Pras Michel was also ordered to forfeit $65 million, the amount he gained from his crimes. The court's goal: ensure criminals don't profit from illegal acts. The government argued Pras was paid tens of millions by Jho Low for illegal donations and lobbying. The forfeiture order wiped out his fortune, compounding the loss of freedom with financial ruin. Any money earned from Jho Low was now gone. The penalty was both punishment and deterrent, warning others tempted by easy money. The government will seize his assets to satisfy the judgment. For Pras, it was total downfall. Reputation, career, freedom, and wealth lost. The price of greed and corruption was absolute. His story became a stark warning to all. With sentencing complete, Pras Michel prepares to enter prison in January 2026, leaving behind his life of fame. His legal team vows to appeal, arguing the conviction and sentence were unjust. Appeals are long shots, but they offer a glimmer of hope. For now, Pras's legacy is tarnished, his name forever linked to one of America's biggest foreign influence scandals. The story is a cautionary tale. The pursuit of money and power can destroy even the most celebrated lives. Pras risked everything for a partnership with a fugitive billionaire. As he faces prison, his future is uncertain. Whether an appeal will change his fate remains to be seen. The music has stopped for the Fugees star. All that remains is the somber reality of a legacy forever changed.